Alright guys, I'm just going to talk about some random stuff going on in my life, and if you want to listen, then you can tune in. Alright, so I have just moved into a new area for grad school, and I've been looking for a new church to go to, but haven't been having quite as much luck as I'd like. I've been in the area for a year and haven't really found a good place yet. So I was going to this one for a while where a bunch of my friends from college go, like a ton of college kids go there. But there's no real discussion or anything, so I mean it's just a sermon, and then that's pretty much all there is to it. So I wasn't really feeling it that much. I was hoping to find a new place. I was kind of spoiled because back home I had this amazing church where you actually go on Sundays, you feel like you learn something new every time. It's almost all young people, and the pastor is incredibly intelligent, well educated I should say. I remember we had a discussion about morality, just me and him, and I was talking about some things that I had thought I'd come up with, just some new ideas. And he not only knew the official name of those ideas, but what other authors had to say about it. Just some really cool discussions to be had there. In fact, after the sermons, like a Tuesday or something, some random day of the week, they would be people would get together, eat, and then talk about the sermon. So you get to play devil's advocate, ask questions. Just a really good environment. I wish more churches would take that kind of route. But I was looking for a new place down here, or up here I should say, and of all places to hear about a new church, I went dancing this one night, and I ran into a girl there, and we danced a couple times, made some small talk. And then after I talked about that I was studying philosophy, somehow religion came up, and it wasn't even my fault. Like usually it's my fault when stuff like that comes into conversation, but I don't think it was mine this time. And it was the weirdest thing, because who expects to go to a dance club and start talking about religion? Like it's kind of weird. But anyway, all kinds of stuff came up that night. Like, we started talking about evolution, and that was totally my fault, though. I brought that one up. But it was interesting. She ended up inviting me to church, so I was looking for a place already, so that was awfully convenient. And since she knew my ideas about evolution, it was funny because every service I've gone to at this church, the pastor has brought up evolution. And usually I see in my peripheral vision her, like, look over at me to judge my response, but it's interesting. Perhaps there'll be some discussions to be had there. What I can say is that the Sunday school this week was really good. They talked about assurance of salvation, which was an issue I've struggled with since a kid. I think that was actually like one of the first issues I had as a kid, was doubting having assurance of salvation. I'd always feel like when I sinned that I was no longer saved or something. So I've always had an interest in that topic. So that was a cool thing to talk about today, and they had a really good teacher in the class I went to this time. But one of the things that kind of frustrates me about what comes up a lot in this church, unfortunately so far, is evolution comes up every single time. And then the pastor talks about tithing an awfully lot. So those are two negatives in my book. But not necessarily disagreeing about evolution. I don't really care if the pastor disagrees and thinks evolution's false. That's totally okay with me. What does irritate me a little bit is that he doesn't seem to understand what people who disagree with him actually think. So, for example, he keeps talking about evolution as the theory about how stuff was created, or how life came to be, when, if you study evolution, you know it's just abiogenesis would be the origin of life, where evolution is the study of how things change over time, how life changes after it's already there. But he keeps talking about like the origin of the universe and Big Bang and the age of the Earth and all those kind of things instead of actually evolution. Or when he talks about theistic evolution, he talks about how you shouldn't cherry pick from the Bible. But obviously there's like so many different brands of theistic evolution, and none of them are claiming to cherry pick. So I don't know, some of that stuff's just kind of frustrating. And I saw some like pamphlets or tracts from Ray Comfort, so that was a little interesting. But I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Try out this new church, see how it goes, and I'm hoping maybe they'll have some kind of class on creationism or something that I can go and just listen. Maybe get an interview or something. That might be cool for a video. But anyway, just so you guys know, that's a little update on my life, and I'll probably be thinking and talking about creation, making some more videos about it, since I'm going to be hearing about it in the recent weeks. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Test everything, hold on to the good.